to Garrett Wilson. Touchdown! What a throw! Aaron Rodgers to Garrett Wilson. Let's get it! Wow! MetLife Stadium. Aaron Rodgers is home, baby. Jets media, I love you all. Recall! It's gone! Ready to take flight with the Jets, baby. Let's go! Woo!
What is going on, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. It is Richie, and today we're talking about the Joe Douglas press conference. He spoke with the media just an hour or two ago and broke some news about Zack Wilson and other things related to Bryce Huff's future with the New York Jets and Elijah Vera-Tucker, the New York Jets offensive line. Yes, he had a lot to talk about, and the breaking news that's going across the NFL is that it's officially confirmed that Joe Douglas gave Zack Wilson and his agent permission to seek a trade, which means Zack Wilson is on his way out. Now, this is not really breaking news to Jets fans. We kind of assumed this was the reality, but it is officially becoming confirmed from Joe Douglas, which is why this is breaking news. This is more NFL news rather than Jets news, because again, I feel like Jets fans already felt like this was a foregone conclusion that Zack Wilson will be traded. So we're going to break it down in this video. We're going to play the clips from Joe Douglas and break down all the little things we heard from our GM at Indianapolis at the NFL Combine. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way into the show. We appreciate you guys tuning in live on YouTube or tuning in live on Twitter. Salute to the chat. Salute to everybody. My name is Richie from Jets Media. This stream is being brought to you by and powered by BetUS Sportsbook. Don't forget to check them out, folks. You guys can get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, as you guys can see down below in the description, up to $2,500. Definitely go check it out. They got a lot of NFL future bets that we're going to break down later on in the show. But let's get into business and talk about what Joe Douglas had to say regarding Zachary Wilson. Now, first and foremost, I feel like the Jets are going to when are they going to trade Zack Wilson? I feel like is the next question. And I think that's going to be probably around April. That's usually when those quarterback trades happen. And for Joe Douglas to say this at the Combine, I don't think it takes any leverage away. I think that he's going to give it to the highest bidder. And I do genuinely believe that there will be teams out there that's going to be interested in Zack Wilson. I really do believe that. Now, who that will be, I think that it probably will be teams like the, if I had to assume, it's going to be a team like the Los Angeles Rams. So let's hear from Joe Douglas and talk about it together. Listen in to what JD had to say.
Well, I've had good conversation with his agent, Brian Ariel. Where we are exactly, we've given them permission to talk to other teams about a trade. I'm going to circle back with Brian at some point, either this week or next week, just to see how those conversations go. But other than that, there's nothing else to report.
So basically, he just confirms that Joe Douglas gave Zack Wilson and his camp permission to seek a trade, and then they're going to circle back with his agent. And really what that tells me is that Joe Douglas kind of wants to do what's right for Zack Wilson, what's best for him. So my assumption is Zack Wilson, his agent, is going to figure out the best possible destinations for him and his future. He's going to give Joe Douglas those teams, and then Douglas will reach out to those teams and work out a trade. Now, what will the compensation look like? Definitely do not expect a compensation like what we got for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's trade was actually pretty good for the Jets. It was able to get us Bryce Huff and other really good players. We got a second-round pick back. With Zack Wilson, I don't really expect a compensation similar to that. I think it's going to be more like moving up from the 7th round to the 5th round, or moving up from the 6th to the 5th, or something like a late pick swap is what I'm looking at, unless there is a team that really wants to, they see upside in Zack, they want him bad, and maybe we do get a good draft pick back from Zack Wilson. That would be the best-case scenario for us, but I really see the Rams as the Number one destination for me, I like the Vikings as well. The 49ers don't really have, the 49ers got Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy. I don't know if they're bringing back Sam back. I think he's a pending free agent. Maybe the Falcons. I don't know. Maybe there's other guys out there for sure. Now, I know that there's other news regarding McCall Hardman. I'm not going to talk about that in this show. I already made a video on that earlier today on my YouTube channel. So if you want to get my thoughts about the whole McCall Hardman NFL drama, definitely go check out that video. I'm not really going to break it down in this one. We're going to be focusing more on the Joe Douglas press conference. Now, another thing Joe Douglas talked about regarding Bryce Huff. Now, Bryce Huff is not going to be getting the franchise tag of Joe Douglas confirms. Definitely interesting to talk about that with you guys. So the fact that Joe Douglas is not going to be giving him the franchise tag is interesting. Now, he did say that he's had some good conversations with his agent, and he hasn't ruled out a possibility of an extension still. So that's definitely some good news. So let's see if I can find that clip from Joe Douglas talking about Bryce Huff. Now, according to the quotes, now I'm looking for the clip for you guys, but according to the quotes, Joe Douglas said that he will talk to Huff's refs at the combine, but he will hit the open market if no deal is reached. So there are some speculation and some rumors as well about what Bryce Huff's market value is. And I feel like the Jets are trying to get him back for a $12 to $14 million AAV, where teams on the open market might overpay, right? They might overpay for Bryce Huff. And when I say overpay, I just mean giving him a little bit more type of cash, right? So Joe Douglas did say that he had, quote, productive talks with Huff's agent, but I don't really think that means anything because Bryce Huff is most likely hitting the open market. Now, every Jets fan wants Bryce Huff back, right? I think that if they can get him back for $15 million, that would be ideal, but I don't really know if the Jets are able to compete with other guys on the market, right? That's really what it comes down to for me. Now, another thing he talked about with Joe Douglas is Elijah Vera-Tucker. Woo! Okay, so the idea with Elijah Vera-Tucker is, well, let's just see. I got the clip right here. This is Joe Douglas talking about Elijah Vera-Tucker because he's a big piece of this offensive line. And nobody knows where he's playing, but according to JD, he's going to find a home.
We don't have any decision on exactly where he's going to line up, but his ability to play 4 different spots and play 4 different spots well gives us a lot of flexibility moving forward. Our roster building, O-line building. But the one thing we're going to do this year, we're not going to move AVT around. We're going to have a spot for him and leave him there for the season. AVT's in a great place. Yeah, his rehab's going outstanding. He's in a great place.
So that's good to hear. First of all, that AVT's in a great place mentally, right? Let me know your thoughts about that, guys. Let me know your thoughts about that because I want Elijah Vera-Tucker to find a home. And I know there's a lot of debate across NFL, Jets fans about where he should find his home. Some people want him at right tackle. Some people want him at left tackle. Some people want him at right guard. Some people want him at left guard. I'm someone that just feels like wherever they put him at, just let him stay there. Okay? I love his upside as an NFL player. I love his upside as the versatility. And I like that Joe Douglas is open to the idea of him staying at one position because I really think it might be hurting his development as an NFL player. Just find a home. And I personally would prefer him at left guard, but I will say it's going to be hard for the Jets to find 2 starting offensive tackles because right now we don't have 2. So it might be easier for the Jets to maybe plug Tittman at center, and then maybe AVT's a starting right tackle, and then we get a rookie at left tackle. I don't know. There's a lot of different musical chairs going on with the offensive line, but it is definitely cool to hear that Joe Douglas is, saying that AVT is in a good headspace, okay? And now, in terms of the offensive line with the New York Jets and how Joe Douglas approaches it, let's hear from Joe Douglas again talking about that.
Yeah, it's a lot of pieces, but at the same time, we just had some unbelievable meetings with our coaching staff, free agent meetings, and so we feel like particularly, and look, there's 3 different avenues that we can do this, right? Trade, free agency, and draft, and so going through where we are, the ability, going through the meetings that we just went through, the flexibility, AVT, feel like there's some guys that can come in and be the right type of fit for us in terms of the intelligence reliability, there's some good candidates out there that can come in and help us. Yeah, it's a lot of pieces, but
that's definitely interesting stuff right there, folks. That's definitely interesting stuff. So I think that Joe Douglas understands. Okay, now the one thing we need from Joe Douglas is to be transparent with us. Okay? We need Joe Douglas to be transparent with Jets fans because we don't want to hear oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then him not do it. We all know that there's a gigantic mess at the offensive line, and I need to make sure that he can get the right guys for this offensive line because there's 2 guys that's healthy. 2! Not healthy. 2 guys that are on the Jets right now that are on the offensive line that we feel comfortable with. The other guys are backups. They're backups. Right? Carter Warren, Max Mitchell, I like you guys as backups. We don't have starters. So it's really going to be up to Joe Douglas to figure out a way to get the job done. And now this is something that I did like to hear from Joe Douglas as well. He mentioned that he's holding himself accountable that, hey, we haven't been winning. It's true.
We haven't won enough. I mean, that's obvious. But weirdly enough, I feel like the culture's in a really good place with the people that we have. We just have to go out and do it. It's time to win. Everybody knows it, so it's time to put our heads down, work, and win games.
Yeah, no crap, Joe Douglas. No crap. Now, another thing I had to talk about is Joe Douglas, and I said I'm not going to talk about the McCall Hardman situation, but it does relate to what Joe Douglas had to say. Now, he was asked about that, and it seemed like Joe Douglas and the Jets organization's eyebrows were raised a little bit hearing what he had to say of McCall Hardman. Now, that could be tampering, okay? The Jets could get the Kansas City Chiefs for tampering because if Hardman actually texted Mahomes and the Chiefs GM to come trade for him while he's still contractually with the New York Jets, that is illegal. Not allowed. And the Jets could benefit from tampering. So definitely a lot of things to unpack here regarding that. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button on your way in and sound off in the comments your overall thoughts about the breaking news that Zack Wilson will officially be traded. Now, again, I don't really think this is a shock to some people, but hearing it from Joe Douglas definitely confirms what we already knew. Don't forget to hit that like button, folks. If you're watching us live on YouTube or watching us live on X, we appreciate you guys big time for tuning into the show. All right, we appreciate it. We got a total of 37 likes. We can do better than that, guys. Hit that like button. We heard from Joe Douglas. It's NFL Draft Combine Week, and this is where all things are about to materialize. All the things that we have been, anticipating for weeks and weeks and weeks is about to come to a head in these next few weeks because free agency is literally 2 weeks away. I think it's 2 weeks away, actually. Let me double check. It's literally 2 weeks away. So free agency's right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're really about to get some news. Golden Robert with the first super chat of the show. Thank you so much, Golden Robert. I appreciate you big time for the $10 super chat. Give my man Golden Robert some dono hype in the chat, guys. Dono hype in the chat for Golden Robert. What interesting. We need a center guard and a tackle no matter who is quarterback. One, we have a center, and his name is Joe Tippmann. We need 2 tackles and a guard. That's how I look at it. Now, listen, both Tippmann and AVT, the cool thing about them both is that they're versatile. So AVT can play both guard and tackle, and Tippmann can play both guard and center. So I won't say we need a center. We have a center. Now, could the Jets go after a center and put Tippmann at right guard? Yes, of course they can do that. But I'm not going to sit here and say we need a center when Joe Tippmann was literally named the all-rookie center. So he was the best rookie center last year. I'm not looking at it in that perspective. But yes, we definitely have 3 holes on the offensive line. Ever since we released Laken Tomlinson, it frees up the Jets $8 million, but it also, creates another hole. Now, I'm not concerned that it created a hole because I think the Jets can get a big, improvement at left guard from Laken Tomlinson's departure. But there's no denying that the Jets got to put all their resources in building out the offensive line. And I do think that Tomlinson getting cut is the first of many moves to come of other players being released, other players being restructured. The Jets got to figure out a way to free up some cap space to use those assets to go all in around the quarterback because Golden Robert's on point. Doesn't matter who's the quarterback, whether it's Aaron Rodgers or another person as the backup. We need to make sure this offensive line is one of the better in the NFL. We have two promising studs in AVT and Joe Tippmann. Now let's get some studs around them, whether it's veterans in free agency, veterans in the trade market, or in the NFL draft. The Jets' priority number one needs to be the offensive line, and then get a big-time receiver, and then get another backup quarterback behind Aaron Rodgers. That's really the path for the offseason for the New York Jets, in my opinion. So Golden Robert, again, thank you so much for the generous super chat, my friend. Golden Robert says, Russ Grimm was a center, Sweeney was a center, Nick was a center. My point is, you are right, Golden. I get it. 100%. I got you. Some people didn't want to get rid of Lincoln just because he stays healthy. We are at an all-time low. I mean, I get that because he's the only guy in the offensive line that can stay healthy, but if you could free up $8 million and replace him with a better player, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. This year's offensive line free agency is deep. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Is that Breece Hall jersey medium? Yeah, it is. It is a medium. I think it is. Hope AVT is healthy all season. If not, interior line tackle. Yeah, absolutely. We need to stay healthy at the obvious position. That is the most important for the New York Jets. I want to get your guys' reaction right now about the news that Zack Wilson is officially getting traded by the New York Jets. Now, again, not really shocking to anybody in the Jets world, but I do feel like a lot of people are talking about it in the NFL world, which is why I had to go live and break down what Joe Douglas had to say. He also had a lot of other things to talk about outside of Zack Wilson. So let's break it down, baby. Let's break it down. Definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts in the chat more in detail. I feel like now this is the big question. Who's going to replace, right? Who's going to trade for Zack Wilson? I think the Rams are a team. I know that people are like, yeah, well, I don't know if Zack wants to go back with LaFleur, but that is definitely an opportunity. I think that there's a lot of NFL teams. Now, what will the compensation be? Not really sure. I think they'll just get back something along the lines of them moving up in the draft, like from pick 6 to 4, or round 6 to round 4, rather, or something along those lines. Definitely, I'm not expecting the New York Jets to go and get a lot of, like, what we got for Sam Darnold. That was great. That was excellent. I don't know if that's going to happen this time around, though. Okay, that's how I look at it. I don't know if that's going to happen this time around. I think that the Jets are going to move up in day number 3. Okay, let me know in the chat right now, what compensation are you expecting from the New York Jets in return? Let me know right now in the chat. Let me know right now in the chat. Now, as you all know, BetUS has been the official sportsbook sponsor of the channel all throughout the season, and now it's officially the offseason, and they are still sponsors of the channel, and we are so happy to announce the partnership. Not only have they been the sponsor of the channel, but I have a brand new show, which I guess is not brand new. We're in week number 3 now of The Huddle, presented by BetUS TV. But if you guys want to receive a 125% sign-up bonus, your boy just linked the BetUS link at the top of the chat. So right now, folks, click the link at the top of the chat or click it down below in the description to receive a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,500, fast 24-hour payouts, and 24/7 customer service. You can get someone on the phone with ease. Now, I want to talk about these prop bets real quick. These are my favorite on there. You can literally predict where players will end up if they get traded. So, for example, where Calvin Ridley's next team, if not the Jaguars. I like these odds. Because the New York Jets are at plus 600 to land Calvin Ridley. So you guys can go on BetUS right now and predict where some of these free agents or non-free agents will end up if they do get traded or not. Now, I like Calvin Ridley at plus 600 to be a New York Jet. They got a lot of fun free agent ones. Derrick Henry's odds. Now, the Jets are not going to be linked to him, but definitely interested to see that the Ravens are the favorites to lend Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. The running back class is really deep this year in free agency. Now, the Jets are not going to be looking at the top guys because we got our top guy. His name is Bryce Hall. Michael Pittman Jr. is at plus 900 to be a New York Jet. That's an interesting guy. Mike Evans, plus 250. So BetUS has the Jets very likely to land Mike Evans. I like those odds a lot. I think that it is likely. So again, guys, don't forget, click the link right now at the top of the chat. Open up your BetUS account because they will give you a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, which basically means you put down $100, you will have $225 total to play with. They are giving you free money. So please use it to support Jets Media and bet responsibly, folks. Saquon Barkley's next team, if not the Giants. Tony Pollard. I mean, these are really interesting prop bets. So definitely go check out BetUS Sportsbook, and we cannot thank them enough for being the proud sportsbook sponsor of Jets Media. I'm putting my money on Mike Evans being a Jet. That's what I'm doing. I don't know about you guys. I'm doing it. You can't see Saquon to the Jets. I don't know. Guys, when you do open up an account with BetUS, let me know in the chat. I would love to give you a shout out. Golden Robert with the $5 says, not Zach's fault. The kid never had chance. The New York Jets, he won't make a 53 roster 6th round pick. So, a lot to unpack from this super chat. Not Zach's fault. The kid never had chance with the Jets. He won't make a 53 roster 6th round pick. So, I'm assuming you're saying that the Jets will get a 6th round pick in return for Zack Wilson, and where he goes, he won't even make the 53-man roster, even though the Jets apparently didn't give him a chance. So, interesting. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? I don't know. Appreciate the super chat, Golden Robert, as always. Ricky says, Richie, Bucks GM said today they'll re-sign Evans even if it strains team financially to make sure he retires a Buck, which sucks. That does suck. Definitely puts a dagger in the heart of Jets fans wanting to bring in Mike Evans. That's for sure. Listen, Achilles injuries are major. NFL playing concerned. I have a test in April to check nerve tendon damage on both. Be careful. Yeah, I mean, the Jets have 2 players coming off an Achilles, and Aaron Rodgers and Zack Wilson. Elijah Vera-Tucker, excuse me. Zach, if we get a 7th for a team to take Zach and his cap money, I'd be satisfied. Yeah, not only are the Jets, trading away Zack Wilson, potentially getting compensation, but we'll also free up some cap, which is big. We'll also free up some cap. And the Jets need some cap to get some big-time players in the building for the New York Jets across the offensive line. That's no doubt about it. So, if the Jets can get rid of Zach's cap hit, I'm good with that. And shaping 7th round. Exactly. Right? Relieving cap flexibility for Zach is also important because the Jets don't have, the most cap space in the NFL right now. So they got to figure out ways to get creative. Folks, don't forget to hit the like button on your way into the show. We got well over 150 people watching Jets Media right now with a total of 56 likes. Let's get to 100 likes for your boy. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're new, folks, we are aiming the goal of how many subscribers are we close to hitting? 22,000. We are near 22,000 subscribers. The goal is to hit 22K by the NFL draft. So if you're new to Jets Media and you've not hit the subscribe button, definitely consider doing it. Really do appreciate all NFL fans and Jets fans tuning into the show. Mike D with a super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you big time, Mike D. Zach had a lot more than Sam did, in my opinion. 6th at best, I think. Well, you mean Zach had a lot to play with around him, right? That's what you mean? Yeah, I think the Jets are not going to get anything if you want to compare the Sam Darnold compensation to what we're about to get for Zach, it's not going to compare. I think what we got for Sam Darnold was insane in the first place. And the Jets took advantage of that and were able to draft Bryce Hall with that 2nd round pick or use those assets smartly. I don't think the Jets are going to get the same type of compensation back that they did for Sam. So I agree. If anything, I really think it's just going to be us giving up our 7th and getting someone 6th, which means we're just moving up in day 3. That's how I think. That's how I look at it. The Jets are just going to be moving up in day number 3 of the draft. All right? That's kind of how I'm looking at it. That's how I'm looking at it. Mike D, thank you so much for the $5, my man. Can't thank you enough for the generous super chats. You're always too kind, my man. Do you think we will take a developmental quarterback in the draft? I do think so. I definitely think that's a possibility that the New York Jets should definitely consider for all the right reasons. We don't really have a long-term future at the quarterback spot right now, okay? We don't really have a long-term answer at the quarterback position. And I'm someone that loves to have a long-term approach with my sports teams. And right now, the New York Jets don't have one at quarterback. And I get it. It was supposed to be Zack Wilson, and now he's going to get traded. So the goal is to bring in a veteran backup behind Aaron Rodgers. But I don't know if that veteran is going to be a player that Jets fans are going to be considering being the franchise quarterback when Aaron Rodgers leaves, which gives me all the more reason why the New York Jets should get a day 3 quarterback in the building. Drew wants the Jets to get Rattler. Interesting. $5.4 million in cap space for a team to take Zack Wilson. Curious if a team would actually want to pay him that. Interesting. CJ Mosley will be a victim of cap hit. Thank you, Golden Robert, for another super chat. CJ Mosley has restructured his contract already like 3 times, which makes me believe he'll do it again. And I do not want to get into a debate for the 4th year in a row about CJ Mosley. I really don't. I really hope that Jets fans are coming to the realization that CJ Mosley is an important piece of this defense. Can we just admit it by now that we have a stud linebacker? Or should I say 2 stud linebackers? Yes, CJ Mosley is a big cap hit, but every penny that we've paid CJ Mosley up until this point has been worth it. I hope Jets fans have come to that realization by now, because I'm so sick of the same debates every offseason that the Jets need to release or trade or get rid of CJ Mosley just for cap flexibility. Bro, the guy is the quarterback of the defense. I'm not going to go deeper into it. T. Rivera with the $5. I appreciate you, my man. Onwenu and Robert Hunt in free agency. Trade back and get a 2nd and a 3rd. Sign Huff. Get a running back. Get a running Singletary. Also get Corey back. And last, get a good backup quarterback. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like this. I think that Onwenu and Robert Hunt are 2 guys at the top of my list in terms of free agent targets for the New York Jets. Trading back and getting more draft picks would be huge. Of course, we are not... we are without a 2nd-round pick, so the Jets would be smart to acquire more assets. If they can re-sign Huff, that would be huge. Singletary would be interesting. Now, Corey Davis, I know that, we heard from Connor Hughes on the Jake Asman show yesterday talk about that Corey Davis almost came out of retirement at the end of the year last year, so maybe he does return. I would welcome Corey Davis with open arms if he wants to come back. Absolutely. Absolutely, with open arms. We need you, Corey. We missed Corey Davis last year. Like, that was such an underrated big blow for the New York Jets, is that Corey Davis retiring, bro, right before the season started. That was a huge blow. Huge. Appreciate the $5 super chat, T. Rivera. Big time. We're getting into more debates. Mosley at 21.7 cap hit can't happen. You realize that, at some point, we have to realize that good players cost money. Look at it from this way. The Jets have Quincy Williams on a bargain right now. We should be happy about that. We're paying Sauce Gardner a bargain. We're paying Jermaine Johnson a bargain because they're on rookie contracts, okay? The only player that we're paying significant money to on the defense is the Quinn Williams and CJ Mosley, who are the 2 top dogs of the defense. Do I want the Jets to restructure with CJ Mosley? Yeah, of course I do. But let's not pretend that a $21 million cap hit is just way too much money. CJ Mosley has proved to be worth that money. If he wasn't playing to the level that I feel like he would, I would be upset. But CJ Mosley has been an all-pro for the New York Jets, has been a Pro Bowler for the New York Jets. So when I see that $21 million cap hit, me personally, I'm not crying about it. I'm like, you deserve that cash. You deserve that money. We have a top 5 defense back-to-back seasons, and CJ Mosley was the leader of those 2 seasons. Now, of course, Quincy Williams has developed and leapfrogged him, which is CJ deserves credit for that, by the way. But I'm so sick of people telling me that CJ Mosley's not worth the contract we gave him. Now, in the first 2 years, you could say it was a blunder of a contract because he, sat out and then he got injured for a full year. And now the last 3 years, CJ Mosley has proved to be worth his contract, in my opinion. Just saying. CJ Mosley is our Fred Warner until we get a middle linebacker that can stand in his shoes and be productive. Everyone should suck a fat toe. Hell yeah. Restructure CJ. He still gets his money. Yeah, I think restructuring him is what they're going to do. They're going to restructure him, but can we stop pretending that he's overpaid and he doesn't deserve that money? That's what I can't stand. When I see Jets fans not giving CJ Mosley the respect he deserves, bro. This defense is not at the level that has been the past 2 years without him. And he also has restructured multiple times already, which tells you he's putting the team first. So he's an amendable player, he's a captain, and he's a dog. Jets fans, start appreciating who we got, especially on that defense. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button right now for your boy. We got 175 people watching, but 71 likes. Let's get to 100 likes, folks. 100 likes. We're breaking down the Joe Douglas press conference. We had some breaking news about Joe Douglas confirming Zack Wilson will be traded. He has opened up the option for Zack Wilson and his camp to seek trade opportunities. I hope you're trolling, Golden Robert. I really hope you're trolling. Because no, he does not have to go. Let's just make our defense worse. Okay, let's just get rid of CJ Mosley and make our defense worse. Nonsense. CJ deserves every dollar he made. He's one of the only real leaders we have. Facts. I hate when people look at a cap hit and they're like, oh, it's so much money. Let's release him. Dude. As you can see, it's driving me nuts. I can't believe it. We're even having this conversation right now. Cutting CJ would kill the locker room culture. Absolutely. Facts, Andrew. The Jets had Zack Wilson wrong regarding his development. He needed time to sit and learn, as well as time to make mistakes. Neither the fan base nor this organization were willing to give him that. True. True. What happens if Zack stays? Well, Justin, we found out today that that's not happening. I mean, I guess that's still a possibility, but for Joe Douglas to confirm that they allowed Zack Wilson in his camp to seek trades, that tells me he's gone. He's gone. Now, who do you want to blame? You want to blame this person? You want to blame that person? It's on the Jets. It's on Zack Wilson. That's up for us, but it's a moot point at this point. Do we really have to talk about that? Richie, JD will do a lot of restructuring this offseason, and once we cut a lot of these bad players, we'll get like 87 more. Absolutely. CJ Mosley is a dog. He's one of the leaders of our defense. His leadership is priceless. Salute. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. I couldn't agree more, my friend. I don't even know why CJ Mosley is even being talked about in this live stream, but here we are. That's the nature of Jets media shows, is we go off based off what people are saying in the live chat. So there's that. There is that. So Joe Douglas had a lot of other things to say. Now, I do want to ask you guys in the comment section, what are you expecting from Bryce Huff? Are you holding on the hope that he's back? Because Joe Douglas said that he had productive conversations with Bryce Huff's agent. He also said they're not franchise tagging him. What's your overall thoughts on Bryce Huff? Let me know right now. I'm not even going. I'm changing the topic about CJ Mosley because I just saw another ridiculous comment that I'm not even going to talk about. Okay, how about that? I'm not even going to talk about it. Bryce Huff is going to get the bag. Will he get the bag by the Jets? Now, there's also other rumors and speculation about Bryce Huff that he may not be getting the money that we're all expecting him to get on the open market. So I think that he's going to hit the open market. And if I was Bryce Huff, I'd look at the highest bidder. I'd take the highest bidder, present it to Joe Douglas and say, hey, would you want to match this? And if Joe Douglas says no, he signs elsewhere. If the Jets match it, bring him back, baby. Or maybe Bryce just wants to go somewhere else because he doesn't want to be part of a defense that doesn't make him the guy. Because that's the thing about the Jets defense is you have to sacrifice being, you have to put your ego aside a little bit if you're on the Jets defensive line. You got to be able to sacrifice your playing time for the better of the team. And maybe some Jets players just don't want that. And maybe they want to be the star of a defense. They want to be on the field all downs. So that's a big conversation to have. Excuse me. Swallowed my own saliva down the wrong throat. He takes $14 million hour. He goes. Huff is 80% gone. Sad. Former GM Randy Mueller believes Huff will unfortunately be let go and test the waters elsewhere. Yeah, I got to admit, I'm kind of accepting the reality of Bryce Huff not coming back. That's just me. Not that I don't want him to return. I'm just protecting my emotions. So when he does go somewhere else, I'm not super sad. We do not need to release Carl Lawson. He is a free agent, Hayden Nate. Don't worry. He's already a free agent, so we don't have to cut him. He's already off the books. I'd love the Jets to bring back Huff, but I'm not sure the Jets will pay him what he wants. That's exactly the issue right now. As long as Huff leads the AFC East, I'm good. Don't want a revenge game against us. Yeah, bro, please don't go to the Patriots or any team in the AFC East. The Patriots are the team that has the cap space to pay him. Oh, man, that would suck. That would suck. Guys, hit that like button on your way into the show. We are 81 likes with 160 watching. Let's get to 100 likes, baby. Let's go. Jets Media appreciates each and every one of you guys, man. It's been a lot of fun. I don't know if you saw my video, but it's a sad day this week because we have moved out of the office space. The Jets Media Studios. We're back where it all started. This is the OG studio. The other studio is officially gone. It's gone. It's all good, though. Every team has an additional 20 or more cap space. Why not pay the man? Because we don't know what Bryce Huff wants. It takes two to tango. Yes, the Jets have more cap flexibility now, but there's also other players on the team that want to get re-signed. There's also, big issues in terms of the offensive line that we need. Where's Jack at? Great question. Jack has been, taking a little break this offseason. He'll be back, though. Whenever he wants to talk Jets, he knows that there's an open invitation to the show. We're going to get Jack on as soon as we can. You guys miss Jack? Because I miss him on the show, too. Hardman, although bitter, gave us something that needs attention, an actual offensive scheme. A quarterback, too, can run if Rodgers goes down. I mean, those things he said didn't really shock me, for being honest. That part of what Hardman had to say. Bryce Huff said he's cool with $5 to $6 million. Come on, Hawk. Stop lying to these people. Easy, cut the CJs and sign Huff. Linebackers are not worth $22 million a year. All right, guys, let's cut CJ Mosley, who is just the captain of the defense, and let's let the defense regress. I'm not even gonna go. I'm not gonna go deeper than that. I don't get it. I can't believe there's still Jets fans. This has been a topic every single offseason. And every year, CJ goes out there and proves to be the leader, the captain, the culture guy. And we still got Jets fans saying this nonsense. Still. Quinnen is a captain, by the way, because Aaron Rodgers went down, so they anointed Quinnen the captain. CJ Mosley is the captain of the defense. The captain. Even beyond wearing the C on his jersey, he is the leader. He is the guy who is hyping everybody up before games. He's given the speeches in the locker room. He's holding everybody accountable. I feel like people don't realize impact of players outside of the field. All you see from a player between the lines is not the impact, not the only thing. You gotta factor in other elements. I promised myself I'm not going to go into another CJ Mosley rant, but I got people in the chat making me do it. You guys make me do it. You guys are pressing my buttons on purpose. I feel like you guys know what will get me on a little rant. So maybe that's why you're saying it. People that don't see CJ Mosley's value on this team, I don't get it. Bro, take a deep breath. Okay, Richie? I'm talking to myself. Gotta practice my yoga right now on stream. You guys. Now, I do agree. He said cut both CJs. Yes, cut CJ Uzama. Cut CJ Uzama. I agree with that. Keep Conklin and Ruck. Get another tight end. But CJ Mosley, bro, he should not be going anywhere unless you want the defense to regress. Yeah. If you want the defense to regress, then yeah. Let's just get rid of CJ. I mean, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? You realize that all pro caliber linebackers cost that price? He's an all pro. Do I need to remind you how good he is? And we had the linebacker next to him be a first-team All-Pro. Who do you think deserves credit for Quincy Williams' development? Not just Robert Saleh, not just the defensive coaching staff, but C.J. Mosley deserves credit for that. I am not allowing any C.J. Mosley slander to go unfazed in the chat anymore, okay? I'm not doing it. I personally think that $20+ million for C.J. Mosley is worth it. That's me. And we've restructured him 3 times already. They will restructure him again, so the cap hit won't look at it. Stop looking at the numbers so much in detail and realize that that money is worth it. Resign Becton. Do we have anybody in the chat that wants to resign Mekhi Becton? Because I feel like that is a polarizing discussion. I feel like the majority of Jets fans do not want Mekhi Becton back. But I'm curious. Let me know right now. Hayden Nate wants him back. New York Cursor wants Becton back. Does anybody? I mean, right now, if you think about it, there's no offensive tackle. So, like, obviously we want someone better than him. I don't know. Quincy gave the credit to his development to CJ Mosley, by the way. Yeah, but let's just cut him. Let's just cut him, Joey, right? Let him know, Joey. Let him know, Joey. Let him know, Joey. Let him know, Joey. Let him know. No thanks to Becton. No. Becton on a 1-year prove it. That is what I would do. If the Jets can get Mekhi on a 1-year prove it deal, that's huge. But I don't really see that happening. CJ is overpaid, but he's crucial to the team. And when you take leadership into account, it more than makes up for it, especially with Quincy playing like a top linebacker for cheap. Now, I honestly might be the minority, but I don't think he's underpaid. I'm sorry. I don't think he's overpaid. He proved to be worth the contract we gave him. Do you guys realize what all-pro linebackers cost? The guy was an all-pro 2 seasons with the New York Jets. Pro Bowler, 2 seasons for the New York Jets. What do you think those linebackers are worth? $20 million. He's not overpaid. He's worth every penny. That's what I don't understand. I'm sorry. Don't take it personal if I'm attacking you. It's more the topic than anything. I'm passionate about CJ because this has been years. I've had the same people say the same thing last year and the year prior. And it doesn't end. It doesn't matter what CJ does. It's like people will always be looking at that contract and be upset about it. It is what it is. Becton is going to go to the Ravens. I can see that. Wherever Becton goes, he's probably going to be healthy for the whole season, and then he's probably going to be a dog, and then he's... Okay, I'm going into my pessimism mindset. I got to get out of that. Every year, it's the same shit with these fake fans. CJ can't do this or that, but he produces. It's the same thing. Every offseason. He can't do this. He can't do that. Even though he, like, literally is the heart and soul of the Jets defense. But I digress. I see Saleh and JD, and I'm not happy with either, and they're rewarded with another season. As a fan, the leash is going to be extremely short on these guys next season. Absolutely, man. The leash is going to be extremely short. 100%. CJ is a dog. I'm all for him staying. There we go. That's the energy we need. Now, you guys got me worked up, so we're going to take a quick break, okay? And we'll be right back. I'm going to open this up to a Jets Q&A, maybe even take some callers if you guys want. We're going to hear a quick word from a good, proud sponsor of Jets Media. You guys know them very, very well. It's Manta Sleep, baby. Don't forget, use the code JETS for 10% off. You will not regret getting your Manta Sleep mask today. Be right back. As you all know, we've had a proud sponsor of Jets Media for quite some time now, and they happen to be Manta Sleep. Now, if you guys want to use my promo code JETS, you will get a 10% discount code. That link is down below in the description. Now, you might be wondering, what is Manta Sleep? If you guys have any struggles with sleeping, I cannot highly recommend more the Manta Sleep Pro Mask. Now, I've been using this since they became sponsors on the channel months ago, and I literally wear this exact sleep mask every single night before sleep. Again, guys, this is what you got to invest in if you're having any difficulty with sleep. It is the most advanced sleep mask on the market, and I promise you, you will not regret getting your sleep mask. It absolutely takes out the light, 100% blackout, zero eye pressure technology, so when you put it on, you can open your eyes, but really, my favorite part about it is it completely turns out the light. So even if you want to put it on for a midday nap, or even you don't even want to take a rest, you just want to put the sleep mask on, even meditate, it's a really mindful practice, and I cannot recommend them more to you guys. They have a lot of different masks on their website. This happens to be the Pro Mask, which I personally recommend. It's what I use, but don't forget, use that link down below in the description, 10% off discount code. They have a Bluetooth mask if you want to listen to music. They got a silk mask. They got ones for kids. They got a weighted mask. They got a cool mask. Definitely check out their website. Cannot recommend them more. Thank you, Manta Sleep, for being a proud sponsor of Jets Media. Shout out Manta Sleep. Love those masks, baby. I love them. Now, I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Any questions you may have, let me know. Let me know. Saleh saved our defense. Now, he came here initially, Robert Saleh, and the defense stunk in year one. Remember that. Remember that the defense stunk in year one. And then in year two, it was a big flip. And then year three, better improvement. Now, what will it look like in year four? Right? That's what I'm looking at. Thick D Pete just laid that wood, Richie. What the heck does this mean? Oh, Big Me Pete, you mean? Big Me Pete? Spring training? I love to hear that. Is that what you're referring to, Mr. Pete Alonso? Because I'd love to hear that. I know that they got a game today. Please confirm this is who you're talking about. Please let me know you're talking about my man Big Me Pete. That's a whole other conversation. I am so pissed off that my Mets have not extended Pete Alonso yet. But we're not going to get into that. We're not going to talk about Mets. We're not going to bore you guys. But I think that's what he's referring to. Appreciate the super chat. Jason's in the chat. Hey, Richie, since we're not franchise tagging Huff, do you think we're going to extend him? I think that the Jets are going to try their best to re-sign him, but if there's a team out there that gives him a contract that the Jets just can't afford, then it's not going to be the case. So my optimism for the Jets re-signing Bryce Huff is dwindling, but that's just me preparing for the worst, personally. That's just me preparing for the worst. Yes, Thick D, Pete Alonso. All right. Thanks for clarifying. I love it. Thanks for letting me know, Jets Mets. Yes, get Zack Wilson out. Rodgers himself won't be able to fix him. Go get a serviceable backup. There we go, Justin. Justin's happy about the news. Jets can easily create 65 to 75 million in cap space with cuts and restructures. Cap will now be a problem. Justin 25. Jets have about 107 mil of open cap space to play with. Yeah, the Jets can get very creative here. And they will be very creative. I think that Joe Douglas has a vision, and I believe in it. Okay? Let's just be patient. Let the process work itself out. Personally. Are we close to the goal of 100 likes? 89 likes. Come on, folks. I know you can do it. Hit the like button. Let's do it, baby. Nikki's in the chat. Hello, Richie. We failed Zach. Did Zach fail us? I think you could say that he failed us and we failed him. How about that? Thoughts on Adams not being traded? I really wanted the Jets to get him. Yeah, I wanted the Jets to land him too. But there's other options. There's other options. Happy Zach's leaving. Really excited to see what happens to the Jets and Zach moving forward. I think Zack Wilson's best option is definitely going to the Rams. If he goes to the Rams, I think he's going to have a really good career with them, low-key. I really do. Saz me in a minute. Learning behind Matthew Stafford and having Sean McVay. Oh, God, it's perfect for him. It is. But at least we'll hear this at MetLife. This is a great question, Joey. Richie, do you believe Salah's current culture will get us into the playoffs? So, the sad thing about this is that Salah has built a phenomenal culture, but just on one side of the ball. And the reason why that's an issue is that Robert Saleh is the head coach, not the defensive coordinator. We don't have a culture on offense that's healthy. We don't have a standard. Last year proved that. But if you tell me that this defense gets better next year and that Aaron Rodgers stays healthy next year, the Jets won 7 games, okay, with a bottom barrel offense and a top tier defense. So if the defense stays top tier and the offense just improves to mid-level, I think that, yes, the Jets can make the playoffs. Yes. Nicky is a Zach truther, and he's admitting it. Uh-oh. Henny, come on now. I know you're going to go after. We got Henny Heisman versus Nicky NFT. Who will win? The Zach truther or the anti-Zach? Tune in next week for a Nicky versus Hennessy battle in the chat. Oh, God, I love it. Saleh said he was going to lift up Zach, then he jumped on his back and rode him into the ground and threw him under the bus. Not going to lie, when I heard Saleh say that to Zach, I was like, yeah, love it. And what up, Jay? Richie, what do you think about the Jets addressing tackle in free agency and taking best weapon available at 10, since you will be able to get starting guards in the 3rd round? I like it. I think that, you know, the only way you can convince me to get a weapon in the 1st round, like a Brock Bowers would be a weapon I'd love. Can you imagine Brock Bowers on the Jets? That would be crazy. They have to build out the offensive line, though. We need to have 2 starting tackles. We need to have a lot of offensive linemen brought in free agency before you can convince me that the Jets are going to bring in a weapon in the 1st round. That's how I look at it. Offensive line needs to be priority number 1. Offensive line needs to be priority 1. Guys, we're 3 likes away from 100. I know we can do it. I know we're this close. I know you guys can get to that 100 like mark. Come on, I trust in folks. Let's go. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Now, folks, I will be live. As you all know, we're live every single day on BetUS TV's The Huddle at 3 p.m. EST. Today, we'll be breaking down Tyreek Hill's alleged assault. Another Tyreek Hill situation to talk about. We'll also be breaking down the McCall Hardman drama. We'll also be talking about NFL draft combine situations and all things regarding the NFL combine and NFL stuff. So if you guys want to check us out on BetUS TV in 30 minutes, I'll link it right now in the chat. It's going to be me, TD Finstock, and Dan Mitchell. I'm sure you guys have grown to be used to this show by now. Just reminding the people that are not familiar with it, I have a brand new show live every day, Monday through Friday. And I'm going to end this show now so your boy can eat some lunch before that show begins. I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. I just put the link in the chat in case you want to go check them out. BetUS TV. Definitely go subscribe to that channel. I'm live there every single day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. EST. I'll see you guys over there. We're going to wrap up the show here. Shout out to Jimmy in the chat, to Nikki, to Thomas, to Hennessy, to Hawk, to Joey in the chat, to Jets Mets, Hayton Nate, Jay, NY Cursor, Hater Ali. I know I'm missing a few, but thank you so much to everybody tuning in. I love you all. Let's go, Jets. We hit 100 flat likes before we ended it. That's why you guys are my dogs. See you guys later. Peace out. Thank you for the support, guys. See you all in the chat. Love you all. See you at 3 p.m. on The Huddle. Come on, I want to see the regulars. I want to see Jets Media regulars represent in The Huddle. I would love that. I'll see you guys there. Peace.